Welcome back to another live and amplified Indie Fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we're back at it again with another amazing podcast. We're right in the middle of our pancreatic cancer fundraiser. We have our next guest joining us. We have Evelyn Jackson. How's it going today?
Hi guys, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here. We've been trying to do this second podcast for
A
who knows
while.
how long at this point. But glad we finally got this opportunity to sit down and reconnect.
Yes, definitely. It's been a little bit, it's hectic. I have a full-time job and then I'm trying to grind musically. So
Yeah.
we're working at it. We're getting there.
Nice, nice. And so right now you're in Nashville doing a whole bunch of cool music things. How's Nashville treating you?
Nashville is beautiful. I love being here. This is actually my second time in Nashville. The first time I ever came through, me and a friend came through and went to Broadway and then left the next day. And, that's not like encapsulating the musician scene here in
Right.
Nashville by any means. So it's just nice to be here. It's nice to, get to meet people here. The people at the studios have been great. My team here has been awesome and just a very fun experience. I woke up the other day, put something on social media like I have to go to work today. Like if you can call this work.
Right. I saw that pop up and I was like, that's cool. That's like I love the fact that you're in Nashville really pursuing your dream and like really putting a foot forward, I guess is the best way I kind of want to word it. So
Yeah, no, a great way to word it. It's like you have to take the opportunities that come to propel, move forward. And I'm just really grateful for this one because, it's going to be a big step and I'm excited to see what comes from it. So
nice. That's really cool. So how long have you been in Nashville? You've only been there a couple days, right?
I'm kind of, yeah, I'm a crazy person. I drove from Austin to Nashville on Thursday, just a straight shot, left sometime before noon and got in, late in the night. But I had to be here Friday morning at 9. So that was how it went. So Friday was my first full day here. Yeah.
Fair. You're not a crazy person. I do it all the time. Like it's one of those things. And actually, you timed it out about the way I would have too, where it's like, okay, what's the best way I can do this where I can save one night on a hotel?
Yes, exactly. I think I ended up getting in like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And just didn't didn't go to a hotel at that point.
Right. It's like, there's rest stops right outside of Nashville. So just
Exactly.
hang out. So you're in Nashville? Are you working on just recording singles right now? Or are you doing an EP? Like what's kind of the plan of attack out there?
I am actually doing my first studio EP.
Okay.
So it's the 6 songs. Um, and I don't know how exactly the method we're going to release them yet, but there's a video to go with the first single that's going to be there. So that's what I'm working on here. Um, the other, the stuff I have out right now, I have a single out, and then I have live EP that's out. But I'm excited to get, that actual studio version of my EP, and also just more songs. It's 6 songs that are, different and new and very dear to me. I've had this concept, this idea for this EP. Um, I don't know, for a couple of years now. I'd named it a couple of years ago. So it's been 2 years in the making. So this feels serendipitous and great. Yeah.
Nice for sure. I will say I really do love your live EP that you have out right now. Because that was the project that you were gonna like record the day after Thanksgiving or the day before Thanksgiving a couple years ago.
Yeah. So, well, I kind of had to swerve with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to do a little house show.
Mm-hmm.
And I only had that one single out at the time. And I was like, I need to get some music just out there, just even if it's not completely professionally recorded, I just want people to be able to, play it on Spotify and have access to it. So I decided to, try to do this little Thanksgiving fringe show. And I was going to record a few songs and then just, mix them there. Um, you know, did not plan well. I didn't get the right equipment. I ended up just being like, this is too stressful. We're gonna have a jam night, and that's what ended up happening. But yeah, in the spring after that, by the time spring had rolled around, I had a more established band. It's me and some guys that we play together. You know, they are my band, and we decided to go into the studio and do a live recording and actually get video of it, so that
Mm.
I, have stuff to send to venues and things like that. And then it ended up just turning out so good. We're like, oh yeah, we're releasing this to Spotify. So yeah.
Nice. That's really cool. That's really, it was one of those things because I think that was right around when you were planning the original recording around Thanksgiving. That's when we had you on originally because I remember talking to you about that.
Yep. It
Hey.
was, I think because it was around October.
Mhm.
I was on the podcast with you because that was around the time that I had put out the single, and I was really trying to like push it in any way possible. So
Right, for sure. So, when you get back from Nashville, what's kind of the plan there? Are you playing pretty consistently? Are you like, what's kind of the plan once you get back from Nashville?
yeah, so I'm actually like slightly in a transition with some of my band members, and so we're not playing live right now as much. We're kind of in a like regroup phase.
Yeah.
But also with all of this here in Nashville that I've done, I have a lot of work to do as far as like promotion and releasing
Hmm.
things like that. I probably will focus on doing one bigger like single or EP release show towards either the end of the year or right at the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
Um, but this next couple months are actually going to be a little bit of a rest time for me as far as live shows for just a little
Hmm.
bit, and then hopefully get back at it for the beginning of the new year. Yeah. But
Nice.
in general in Austin, I don't gig a lot. You won't see me gigging every single week by any means. It's usually
Yeah.
about once a month. I do try to do a bigger show, and
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with your day job, it's kind of hard to gig consistently, because you're on call. If it feels like you're always on call, like just kind of what I've seen on Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah, so I work almost 40 hours a week, and
Hmm.
sometimes work 48 to 50 hours a week at the ICU. So yeah, I mean, and I have other life too, it's not
Yeah.
just music and jobs. So um I think it's good to not completely overwhelm yourself. Like, I've come here, this has been so fun. This has been an amazing experience, and now I can kind of sit with these and figure out how to release them right and correct,
Hmm.
and in a way that's not stressful and horrible, because I don't do this as my full-time. I mean, I would love to. I
Mm.
take it, but I don't do this as my full-time job right at this moment. And so I don't want to make it something that is overly stressful. Like, I want it to be something that I'm proud of and want to share. And if that means taking my time with it, and I'm going to do that. Mhm.
For sure. I mean, that's a good way to go. Like, I've seen a lot of people that just kind of burn themselves out just in general terms of music and whatnot because they try to keep the grind, like they just grind themselves into hating the industry. And it's like, it's
Yeah.
not fun. What's the point?
Right. I mean, I think that's even why, even with my social media, I was talking to someone about this yesterday. There's all the algorithms. And so the algorithms will eventually punish you if you don't pop on and make a video, or,
Yeah.
do silly or something. Um, but even with that, you'll see lulls with me where I'm like, I'll come in, I'm doing something like this in Nashville. So I'm sorry, I'm spamming. Like, I'm going to be all over like all over your feed.
Yeah.
Right. Then I'm probably going to go home and I'm going to nap for like any chance that I get. And you might not see me for another week, but I just try to
Right.
uh, do it where it serves me well, instead of trying to just please the algorithms and please everybody else. Cause I do this for me mostly. I want to
Yeah.
share music with people, but it's a lot for me too. Yeah.
For sure. For sure. So how's your duo project going? Are you guys still playing together or
That was my lead guitarist. Yes,
mm,
he actually got an amazing opportunity for a job, and so he had to move away.
mm,
Um, so at this point, no, because he's thousands of miles away or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, but that, I mean, he if you hear any lead guitar that you're hearing on anything that I've recorded up to this point, he's on there. And yeah, duo, we'll always have our set. It's very good.
Gotcha. Well, no, I was the Telltales.
Oh,
The
oh, interesting. That one. Wow, it's been so long. Okay, so we have our own bands.
yeah.
And we just like needed to take some time to
Mm,
do them,
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and our project is very difficult to logistically figure out,
Hmm. Yeah.
and we have so many other things on our plate. We both have full-time jobs, so I would imagine at some point it will be revisited and you will hear that again. But
Okay.
as of right now, there's not time on the list.
There-
Yeah.
There's only 24 hours in the day, and at
Yeah.
least some of it needs to go to sleep. So
Yeah. Hmm.
fair enough.
Just let it take a nap. It'll come back. It'll wake
Right.
up fresh.
Right. For sure. For sure. So kind of obviously you don't with balancing music and work and all that fun stuff, you don't have a whole lot of free time, but what have you been doing recently to kind of decompress and escape from the music industry, work, whatever?
Yeah. I actually write a lot. Writing really does do that for me. Helps me, process or get that creative thing out, and I don't need anything for it. If I had even more time, which, we've talked about, I don't
Yeah.
really, but I would probably do something like art.
Mm.
I think we mentioned this last one, but I went to art school. I have a whole classical training in art or whatever. I love to do it, but it is also time consuming. It's like to put that on your plate. You're trying to decompress and you're like, well, now I have to go buy these supplies, and set up, and then tear down and then clean. But with writing, I mean, I write on my little iPhone notes, my memos all the time. So that's one thing I do. I like to work out too. I'm a pretty active person. Um, so that helps, keeps you mentally clear.
Nice. With all the time you've spent recently on the road, have you been more inspired to like write, whether it's just like free writing or writing for songs or?
Yeah, actually, very interestingly, I think I mean, maybe not a full song. I did write one full song on the way to Nashville
Mhm.
in the car, just notes and me singing. And then like a couple different ideas were popping up. So I have like various voice memos of stuff. I mean, I'm there by myself for 12 hours just staring
Mm.
at the road. So I mean, it's keeping me awake. I'm singing into my iPhone, making voice memos. Um, I would say I make it a practice. I pretty much write, if not like, you know, an idea or a verse of a song, at least something every day. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't like culminate into an entire idea, there's just this like notes thing that I just have a list of ideas and things that pop in my head at any given
Yeah.
time. And it's a running list. I just keep working on it all day.
For sure. Nice. That's really cool. And then while you're in Nashville, are you going to try and get into a writer's round or anything, or are you just strictly recording and that's the main focus?
All of it kind of happened very quickly, where I got connected with the people that I'm here recording with, and we
Mhm.
wanted it to kind of happen quickly. So it was like maybe 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And it's just a little short time span to get in there, especially if you're a completely unknown artist to the scene. But I did get a gig here, so I'm doing a gig on Monday night. Monday night. Um, and so that's very fun. I also stopped by the Nashville Songwriters International, their headquarters
Mhm.
here. I was driving by and I'm like, oh my gosh, I follow them on Instagram. I gotta go stop by.
Yeah.
And looked around and saw it. It's very cool. They have so much stuff to support the writers here, which is slightly different from Austin. I don't feel like there's as many avenues to support the actual songwriters. Like the
Yeah.
music, yeah, sometimes, but it's a little bit harder as a songwriter in Austin. Here, it's everywhere. But
Yeah. I feel like Austin's starting to get on board with some of that because I've heard, from people that are, you know, not necessarily in Austin, but they're like, yeah, they're starting to move in a lot of the support stuff, and over the next 5-10 years, it'll be very interesting how Austin kind of changes, you know.
Agree. Right now they definitely have a songwriter group. I'm part of it. I signed up, and then they have another thing called ATX Singer Songwriter Collective. I just did a show with them as well. Um, so there are things there, and it's the people who are working there are working very hard and
Mm-hmm.
doing really good things for sure. Yeah.
Nice. I've definitely, as I've spent more time here in Texas, it's getting harder and harder to want to leave. You know, it's like maybe staying in Texas isn't a bad idea. I just trying to figure out if I want to stay where I'm at or come a little bit closer to Austin, you know, all that fun stuff. So just trying to figure that all out.
I mean, the only thing that keeps me from moving to the hill country are those prices, but
Right.
because that's where I would be.
Right. It's
So
definitely worth it. Like, I mean, it is expensive, don't get me wrong. There's some small towns around here that are just like you're a population of 1,000, but your property is like insanely expensive. So
exactly. Yeah. Although I will say the colors on the trees here, they're so pretty. They're making me second guess. I love fall. Fall is my favorite season. I love the candles. I love the pumpkin spice. I'm not even like mad about it. You can call me a pumpkin spice white girl. I do not care. But yeah, I was driving in here and I'm seeing all the leaves changing colors, and I'm like, ooh, might be where my heart needs to be. I don't know.
right, right. Just wait until the snow starts to fall, and then I think
I'll be driving straight back to Texas.
right. Like I grew up in Chicago, so like the four seasons and the fall, like I'm 100% used to that. Like I know exactly what you're talking about. It's absolutely amazing. But that second December hits and the snow starts to fall, I'm good. I'm out. So
I, I am a baby about the cold. Yesterday, I went out to my car just to get something, and I was wearing this kind of like bigger hoodie, and just felt really weird because the other people were wearing t-shirts, and I'm like, it was 90 degrees in Texas last week. Like my
right,
body's in shock, and it's
right,
not 50 here. It was like nothing.
yeah,
Just,
yeah,
just a baby.
right. It's crazy how much a little bit of a drive. Well, I mean, I guess 13 hours, 12, 13 hours isn't a little bit of a drive, but you know, just
it's
a little.
it's half a day of your life. Like
Right,
I spent half a day doing way less useful things.
right, right. Awesome. And so, how long are you in Nashville now? All right.
I'm going to be leaving Tuesday.
Okay.
Driving
So,
back.
quick turn, quick turn.
Quick turn. Yep. Just get in, get my stuff done, and get out. So that's why I'm calling it my work trip. Even though I, I said that to my friend back home, and he was like, "That's a vacation." Like, oh.
It's like I don't know what vacation means. Like all I know is work trip. So
Right. I'm like, well, no matter where I go or what I do, I'm like doing something
yeah,
for work, work.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right. That's awesome. So kind of looking forward. Obviously, you're working on a brand new project, and you're hoping beginning of next year is kind of the target date, or is
I we'll just see how it all goes. I think that maybe for the first single that we're
oh,
gonna will
yeah,
probably be this year. The soonish. You'll probably get it soonish.
yeah.
But as far as like the seeing the whole project come out, meet probably next year.
Okay,
Yes.
nice. Well, I can't wait to hear new music. I will have to be on the lookout for another Evelyn Jackson show that I can hopefully try and make. I was down that way a couple of weeks ago. I was down in New Braunfels, and
New Braunfels.
I I love it down there. It's like if I could live down there, I probably would. So
It's a great
yeah.
place to live.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I was down there and I was trying to like there was one night where there wasn't a whole lot going on, and I was like trying to see if there's anybody close playing, but everybody was like on the other side of Austin, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, another
yeah,
job. Yeah.
yeah. But no, that part of Texas is really cool. I love it down there. So
Me too.
yeah,
Me too. I'm lucky, to have, I was just, born there. So
right.
have to like move in and try to figure everything out. So I'm grateful. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Um, but I don't want to keep you here too much longer. I do want to thank you very much for joining us for our pancreatic cancer fundraiser. It's a thing near and dear to my heart. So we try and do it every year in honor of my mother, who we lost in 2021. So
Well, I'm glad that you take the time to support that and raise more awareness for all of it. Pancreatic cancer is actually one of the hardest things once it's diagnosed and doesn't get caught very early a lot of the times. And so, anyways, I'm glad I could be here to join you for that. And so, I'm sorry for your mother. I understand I lost my mother to cancer as well, and so I'm always happy to help you support those things.
I really appreciate it. And I figured you, out of anyone working in the medical field, would understand a little bit more, even if you don't have a direct tie to pancreatic cancer. Like, you, out of a lot of people, would understand a little bit more. So, but
All right.
I appreciate it. If anybody wants to check out your music, upcoming music, current music, social media, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
So, any streaming service is going to have, my EP, my live EP is on there right now. I actually have all the live video recordings of the live EP up on YouTube. You can find those there also, where you can see my band just going at it, and they're awesome. So that's the main place to find me. I mean, you can use my songs on your Insta videos and your TikTok videos if you want. Um, yeah, that's the best place. All streaming services will have it. And then within just a little bit, I should be getting this up too. I also just really quickly, I'm about to launch an Indiegogo campaign just to kind of help project some of my stuff. And so all you can go to my Instagram profile at its.evelyn.jackson. And I have a link tree on there and it'll have all the things concerning me, all the links in my life.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I will make sure to put your Spotify link and all your. Actually, I'll probably just put your link tree. I saw your link tree or whatever it is,
Cool.
and I'll drop that below. And I do 100% appreciate you, and thank you everybody for tuning in. And we will see you all here in a bit.